My hair is doing something crazy today. Woo! Well, hello there, or moin as we say here in Hamburg, and welcome to Stitch-Ilonka. My name is Ilonka. Yes, it's spelled with an I, but pronounced with an E. And we are here in Hamburg, Germany, and this is my channel about cross-stitch, about my cross-stitch journey that started last year in August. And yeah, I bring you along for the ride and tell you one or the other interesting story, I hope. And I also, you can also follow me along on my new crochet journey, because I started crocheting like 2 weeks ago. And if you're interested in that, I would love to have you here. Please make sure that you are subscribed for my upcoming shenanigans. And I usually provide timestamps down at the bottom for an easier navigation. Let me welcome you, old and new. It's so good that you are back here and that you didn't unsubscribe, because after my last video I had I lost quite a few subscribers because I titled my last video "I Will Stop Stitching," and that might have prompted a few people to hit the unsubscribe button, well, to hit the subscribe button twice, and just, you know, without watching the video, because obviously I will not ever stop stitching. Because it's just too much fun. But I said in my last video that I wanted to branch out and try a different hobby, or maybe getting back into my weaving hobby that I had before, and try out crochet. And yes, what can I say? I stuck to most of my plans, and it has been quite an interesting month, mayhem. And it has also been quite an interesting month on the private side of things, and not just on the crafty side of things. And if you're interested in why I haven't been that active lately, and why I wanted to take a break from filming, then you can stay tuned until my live update at the end. It's not really well, it's not life-changing, it's just been bothering me, and I felt like I wasn't the bubbly self that I usually am, and so I didn't want to make videos with these chips on my shoulders and lose even more subscribers if I'm not as happy and bubbly and chatty and cheery as I usually am. So yeah, I took a break, and that was good. And now I'm back, and I have to say, maybe it wasn't such a good idea to take a break, because I somehow feel like I've unlearned how to do these types of videos. So please bear with me, and give me some grace if I stumble and I don't know, ramble. See, already starting. Today I have a cup of coffee with me, and I don't know if you do that too. I drink my coffee with milk, and the interesting thing is, well, I cannot. Oh yeah, that's good. The interesting thing is when I put my milk in at the end, and then it usually makes some interesting swirls on the top of my coffee, and I love to have a look at them and see what kind of figure I can make out. What kind of what kind of figure I can make out, and if it's like something like a tarot reading or a tea leaf reading or whatever. And today it looks a bit like it looks a bit like a duck. Do you see that? Like, there's the beak and the eye, and the if I tilt it even more, you're gonna, well, it's a duck. What does that mean? I should take a bath. So yeah, it's the 5th of June today, and we have it's Sunday. Yeah, it's Sunday, but it feels like a Saturday to me because we have a long weekend this weekend due to the Whitsun or Pentecost celebrations that we have here. And the Monday is a mandatory holiday here in Germany. So I'm gonna enjoy my long weekend. I'm gonna have a chat with the German Discord community, the German stitching Discord community later today, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, I hope, or I'm sure. And so yeah, I thought let me sit down and talk to you for a while before then and bring you up to date on what I've been up to for the last few weeks. First of all, let me say I am so thankful and so yeah, I'm so blessed that I am part of this stitching community. And I have been contacted a few times by you lovely people and saying, hey, where are you? I hope you're good. I haven't heard from you in a while, and how are you doing? And it's just such a wonderful, warm feeling to feel like you are recognized, that you are missed, that people think about you, and that's just, you know, that people are kind and thoughtful about the way they interact with you. And that is something that I really appreciate, especially in these days where the world is going crazy and where my life is going crazy, and just to have someone reaching out saying, hi, I thought of you, how are you doing, and I hope you feel good, let me know if I can do something for you. And that's just a wonderful thing. And Kaylee Cross Stitch also said that in her last video, I guess it was, that it's kind of a reality check for us Flosstubers to put a video out and to interact with you guys and to interact with other Flosstubers and people and fans and cross stitchers and crafters on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube, wherever, and to feel that there are people out there who are sane, kind, nice, good and thoughtful, as opposed to the noise that you have around you when you go outside or when you watch television or whatever. And especially in these days and age, is really wonderful to be a part of this amazing community, and I feel so blessed. Sorry, I'm getting teary. Now, what awaits you in this episode? I stuck to most of my mayhem plans. I think I have to thank Steph from Total Stitch Show for this rebranding of the cross stitch. What is it called? Mania. Sorry. See, I already completely replaced the new word in my brain. So she rebranded it. I don't know if she came up with it or not, but she rebranded it Mayhem, Cross Stitch Mayhem. And I thought that was much more appropriate. And yeah, so I stuck to my plans, most of the plans, and I had a few starts. I finished a few things that I'll talk about later. And yes, I wanted to branch out into a different craft, or to, you know, to stop stitching for a week and actually try out something else. And I thought that I would be weaving like crazy because I have a wonderful loom and I have so much yarn and it's so nice, but I also wanted to try out crochet because of my friend Michelle, the Giddy Stitcher, who posted a video on crochet, you know, the basics of crochet. And I started crocheting, and I haven't been able to put the hook down lately. I've already, oh, my lighthouse is leaning. See, there's much more to learn about crochet, and we're gonna come to that later. And yeah, so again, I think I will be talking about crocheting at the end of the video, so if you're not interested in that, you can skip it. And as you know, I always have timestamps for navigation. So, oh, and I got wonderful Stitchy Kindness by my dear friend Esther, and I had part of my Nashville order coming in, and yeah, it's quite a huge haul, and I guess that I will do a separate video about that because it's really too much. And what else? Yeah, you know, this haul thing has really been, well, let me put it that way. It was good for me to kind of streamline my stitching and concentrate on just a few whips that I wanted to finish and that I wanted to catch up on. And I really kind of restricted myself just to stitch on them. The problem with that was that somehow my brain felt like I didn't have enough stuff to stitch on. And so my brain went to buying things and looking up things and, you know, kind of wanting to buy more things. And so I took a break every now and then to sort through my fabrics and to sort through my my kits and my patterns that I have, and to kind of, you know, go through them and touch all of them to remind my brain that I have enough things to stitch on. I'm very sorry if you can hear my neighbors in the yard. Let me just close the window. Wait. So yeah, I'm gonna share a few things with you, but I will also make a huge haul video later. Okay, let's dive in. My first fully finish is this beautiful thing. It looks so good on camera. Yeah, that's been one of the first patterns that I bought because I was so intrigued by this topic and theme and thing. And as you know, my mom, I'm sorry about my flyaway hairs, it's really horrible. My mom passed away 1.5 years ago from cancer, and the cancer had manifested itself somewhere around here. And so I wanted to stitch this. I started this on my birthday on October the 3rd last year, and it has been quite a journey because there were times that I wanted to stitch on it to kind of feel close and deal with the pain or the memory of the journey that we had over that year that she passed away. And it was really quick from the diagnosis to when it was over. So this has become quite an interesting and meaningful piece for me, and it was finished right in time for Mother's Day, and which was in the beginning of May, and a week later it would have been my mom's birthday, so it was really right on time. And I also made a nice picture for Instagram, and I think I'm gonna insert it here, with a beautiful photo of my mom when she was young. Yeah, so this is hanging on my wall and I love it. The friction pen that I gridded it with has been on there for a few months, from October, November, December, January, February, May, March, April. Yeah, 7 months, 8 months, and it came out completely fine. So there's no shadow, anything. The pattern is by PrintAndDecor on Etsy. I used the called for DMC threads, and it's stitched on 16 count white ATAT. Another finish, but not fully finished, is the it pops. The colors are so good. It's by the company Happy Sloth Patterns on Etsy. It's called Fully Functional, and it's a quote by Data from one of the first episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation. I'm a huge nerd, as you know, and I just, one of all, I like the quote, and on the other hand, I also love the colors, how they pop on this black fabric. It's 16 count ATAT black, and it's stitched with a called for DMC threads, and I just think it looks really, really good. I don't have an idea of how to frame it yet, or how to finish it yet. Maybe I could actually even finish it into a pillow, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I like the colors, I like the sentiment, I like that it's finally finished. Oh, and I actually, yeah, this was something I like to stitch, something on theme alongside a series or a movie that I'm watching. And this was started when the second season of Picard aired on Amazon Prime. Let me know what you thought of it. I thought it was okay. I don't really know if I'm looking forward to season 3 or season 4 it will be. I don't know. This has become somehow the project of shame for me. I've shown it to you so many times and it's still not finished. My Garden Biscornu by JustPlaneJen. I finally finished the top layer, including the beading here and including the corner stitch that you have to do in order to join with the bottom layer. See the beading? It's okay. It's almost there. I just put it aside and thought, well, I cannot work on this because it's May and I wanted to do something else. But now May is over and now I have to go back to it. And the wonderful thing is that I will go back to it because Chris from Chris Cross Stitch said that there is a Biscornu along. The theme of Biscornus is discussed in what's her name? The Vintage Stitcher. She made a video about finishing Biscornus, and I think they are hosting a hashtag Biscornu along. So yeah, I'm gonna join in the fun. I already sent Chris a link to my favorite Etsy shop, who has the most gorgeous Biscornus that you can ever imagine. They are Spanish. They're a Spanish company. I'm going to link her below, but please make sure that you click at your own risk. I will not be responsible for any empty wallets or anything because she has really got the most amazing Biscornus. But yeah, so I need to finish this one first. But I'm quite happy that I finally got to the beading thing. I still don't know if I love it, if I will be a beater. If I will be working with beads in the future. But for now, it's okay. And I will go on working on that, I promise. The next thing I finished was my Spring Quaker by Stitches Through the Years. The bottom part, like the bottom half of this one, the top half is the winter and the bottom part is the Spring Quaker. Let me just put it like this, you can concentrate on that more. And it was stitched with the called for fancy flosses like Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and so on. And I'm quite pleased with it. I love how it came out. I finally was able to play with the variegation threads here and find a good balance or a good solution of how to use them. And that was what prompted me to maybe restitch the deer as to not have it be so stripy. But as Michelle Bendy would say, I don't care, I like it stripy. I don't. I mean, I'm from the village and I met deers on the regular on my way to school and none of them had stripes. So I really will have to redo that one. But anyway, on the bottom there, I still have a lot of space down here. And on the bottom, I will now start the Summer Quaker, which will look something like this. Also with a bird and with hearts and stuff. Yeah. And these will be the colors. Let me just show you because it's really good. I mean, this one alone, this is just Weeks Dye Works Stone. This looks gorgeous. So let me try and put these together. It's going to be a lot of red. I was wondering why they didn't see that. I'm really not the best at holding things up. So yeah, these are the... I will leave that in. You missed me because of the stupid things that I say and do, right? and there's this one thing. There it is. Okay, now here we go. These will be the colors. The colors for summer, mostly Weeks Dye Works. Yeah, and I'm just really looking forward to it, and I have to start it now because I only have 3 months. But yeah, we'll be starting that soon. Okay, that was week 1. So week 1 was all about finishing stuff that is almost finished, and that you just have to sit down and, you know, do it. And that was quite successful that week. And then the second week I wanted to focus on my full coverage piece, but I kind of fell out of love with it, or didn't want to stitch on that particular one. And I was thinking about restarting an Aftermath piece, but they are really dark. Like they have, let me just show you, because I already kitted it up. Walk the dog, and you see it's also very, very dark. And so I wanted to try and see if I can do it on 25 count, like 1/1 full cross or 2/1 10 stitch. And so I started the mini masterpieces on a piece of 25 count even weave that I had lying around. The Van Gogh one is 1/1 full cross. I'm sorry, it's really not focusing, sorry. And the other one is 2/1 10 stitch. And with both pieces, I mean, the 1/1 full cross is quite all right. Just for the darker tones, it doesn't really work. And also, like, neither does it with the 2/1 10 stitch. So I was contemplating on, you know, buying the 28 count Easy Grid fabric for this Aftermath piece, which I will probably do. But still, I wanted to stitch on something full cross, full coverage. And I started one on 25 count Easy Guide because I had a lot of fabric of that specifications lying around. And because I knew in June or at the end of May, there will be a new series on Disney Plus called Obi-Wan. And by the way, you know that I always start my videos by saying hello there, or well, hello there. And you know why that is? Because of Obi-Wan. I liked the introduction, or the thing that Ewan McGregor always says, hello there. I like that so much ever since the movies in the 90s. And yeah, I just like this opening. And when I started filming, positioning myself as a huge nerd, I thought that would be an appropriate opening for me to say hello there at every time I start a video. But that's beside the point. So I started this beautiful ATAT Walker by Awesome Pattern Studio. They have it in, you can buy it in different varieties. You can buy it as a round finish, you can buy it as a rectangular finish, or as a square finish. And this is the same company that makes these beautiful, beautiful city landscapes. And I'll show you later. Yeah, so I started this one, and I thought I can start this one on the 25 count that I have, because it's only going to be a few areas that are a bit darker, and most of the things is very light, so I might get away with using the 2/1 10 stitch methods, and that's how far I am. And it stitches up so fast. I mean, of course it stitches up fast because you only doing half across, and also because it's a lot of solid colors. So I am very positive that I might, because this was only like 4 days of work, or 5 days. I started this on that evening when the Eurovision Song Contest was here in Europe, and we had a wonderful Discord chat with Michelle, the Kitty Stitcher, and the less said about our German entry, the better. Anyway, so I started this one, and it is really, really, really fast, and I'm quite sure that I will be able to finish it within the next 3 weeks, when the show Obi-Wan is finished too. So yeah, this is my little ATAT walker. I think I'm about 25% done already. See, 23%, that's what my pattern keeper says. Yeah. And because I realized that the 2/1 for these lighter colors is really not too bad, and if it's only just a few areas that have these darker tones, then I might get away with 25 count because I have a lot of fabric of that. I might actually start these 3 patterns by Awesome Pattern Studio, because these are let me see. That's Frankfurt am mine, that's Hamburg, and that is Hanover. And these are the 3 cities that are most important to me in my life. I'm from Hanover, I currently live in Hamburg. This is my very most famous, favorite city in the world. And I spent quite a lot of time in Frankfurt and around the Frankfurt area. That's where my boyfriend is from, and also my sister-in-law, actually. So we have kind of a connection to that area. And you see there are a lot of lighter colors and only a few darker spots, and so I think I might actually be able to get away with it. And if I stitch it on 25 count, they will be in a size that I can frame them in a three space frame that I have already with 5x7 spaces. They will kind of fit. So yeah, that's one of my future projects. And please have a look at Awesome Pattern Studio. They are awesome. So week 3 was about catching up with the Modern Folk Embroidery sale for 2022. And this is how far I got. I started in the top right corner because I usually always start in the top right corner with my cross stitches. And since April was already out, I started it somewhere in April. Yeah, mid-April somewhere, when I finally found my favorite Overa Soie d'Argent red yarn, number 2925. It's such a beautiful red yarn. I love it. And I combined it with Overa Soie de Paris Gold. And I switched out, let me just kind of put it like this. Oh yeah, that's good. Usually these 2 guys, like Caleb and I forgot the other name, they would also be over here because there's a lot of symmetry in this piece. But I wanted to have a bit more variety, so I put these birds in here, and also these 2 bird pairs are different. And that's wonderful that Jacob provides you with different options for spaces that you can kind of make it your own, and I like that. And I'm yeah, next part is January over here and May underneath. And then I am so happy because we already found, I don't have a printout, we already got the June part is out, and it reveals part of a boat. And I am so much looking forward to that, to stitching a boat, because of course I am from the north of Germany, and I love water and I love everything nautical, and I'm very much looking forward to going on with that. And I'm going to be stitching a lot of modern folk embroidery, in the near future. So yeah, I'm going to talk about it later a bit. Speaking of Jacob, Pride Month, let me kind of start it in a different way. So Michelle Bendy the other day talked about her friend Imogen, and they made their first Flosstube video, and I was completely drawn to it because she had a beautiful finish of Jacob's last year's Stitch-Along, like on teal colored fabric with black and white finishing. Have a look at it. It's just gorgeous. I'm going to link her video or her channel below too. And anyway, so Imogen is also into tarot readings and stuff. And so at the end of this video, she draw a tarot card for us and for herself and for us. And it was the tarot card, The Lovers. And my word of the year last year was love, because I wanted to focus more on love myself, love others, love life, love things that you do, and just be surrounded and everything about love. But and I chose a new word for this year, which is life/live. But I really felt most of the time that I am not finished with the word love, because it's really so important for me to always come back and think about loving the people around you, showing empathy, loving yourself, giving yourself grace for certain things. And, you know, love is such an important thing that sometimes when I am stressed out, that gets pushed to the wayside, and I feel myself filling up with hatred for everything. You know, there's these moments when you just hate everything. And anyway, so yeah, so Imogen drew the cards, and it was the Lovers, and they quoted another tarot reader, Madame Adam, with the sentence, "Move forward in love or backwards in fear." And then she signed off her video with the words, "Move forward in love." And I don't know why, but this resonated so much with me that I actually wrote it down in my diary that day. And I was thinking about it throughout the day as well, because this is really such a nice sentiment to have in mind, especially with the situation that I was in this month and for the last few months, to not fall into the other side of hating everything and feeling sorry for yourself and feeling sorry for others, and just kind of, as Yoda said, fear leads to anger, anger leads to pain, no pain leads to suffering, and the other way around, you know. So yeah, anyway, I wrote down this sentence, "Move forward in love," in my diary, and it resonated with me. And then Jacob came out with this pattern as a Pride SAL 2022, and I think it's €7 on his website, and he will donate the proceeds of this pattern to either a local or a US LGBTQ cause. He hasn't decided yet which one, but I'm very, very certain and sure that he will do that. Anyway, so I was so happy. It really hit me hard when he came out with this, and to feel like he was inspired by Imogen's video as much as I was. And that just made me so happy. And again, that also made me feel like being a wonderful part of this whole community. And I'm sure we both were not the only ones affected by this and not moved by it and inspired by it. But he is the better designer, so he came up with a with a pattern for that, and I was happy to jump on it. And yeah, this will be my pride stitching for this year, for this month. And I am not sure if I will be able to stitch the whole thing or just concentrate on the middle part, because I have so many other things that I also want to do. But yes, still, nevertheless, please have a look at it. I'm going to link Imogen's video and Jacob's shop also down below. And I would like to steal this sentiment for myself as a send-off as well. We will see. So yeah, Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. This will be a start very, very soon. Some more Stitchy Kindness I got. I was so lucky to receive an envelope by Kaylee Cross Stitch with a piece of 40 count Swigart even weave or linen, I don't know, and some floss to go with it, because if you stitch 1/1, you have to have really, really fine silks or a fine yarn to be able to stitch this. And this is a piece of fabric that Karen, the needlebug, gave away or gave to her. And she has so much that she said, if you want something, please contact me. I'm going to send you a piece of this fabric so that you can try out tiny stitching yourself. And I haven't had the chance to try it, to start it yet, and I'm also still looking for the perfect motif to go on there. But still, I'm very much looking forward to that. And it's so wonderful to have, you know, actual physical products from my virtual friends, and to have like a piece of fabric from Karen, the needlebug, and and it had Susie's cat hair on it. So Kaylee's beautiful kitten Susie also sent me a few of her cat hair. That was very nice. I can't wait to start it. And some more Stitchy Kindness that I got was from my dear friend Esther, the Danish stitcher from Denmark. And she knew that I was going through through a bit of a tough time lately. And she just, well, it's just wonderful it's just wonderful when you have someone who kind of anticipates something and just sends you something, a little something to cheer you up. And yeah, that's what she did, and I was just over the moon. She dyed fabric, and she is kind of the queen of the fabric dyeing. Please check her out. She usually does a segment in her Flosstubes where she shows things that she bought or fabric she dyed or whatever. So she sent me, this one is a Ada Lurex Zweigart 18 count piece of Lurex speckles, silver speckles, and she dyed it in this, it looks moldy to me, and I think it's perfect. It looks like a piece of, I don't know, a piece of something that was left out in the attic to mold, with these green specks, and I just love it. It's gonna be so perfect to stitch something Halloween-y on there, because that's also something that I missed out last year on. And I think I already have an idea of what I will stitch on it. Because look, and it's got these silver specks in it. It's just amazing. And in camera, it looks even better. I love it. And I'm really wondering if I should stitch something with like a silhouette kind with stark white thread, or some kind of a witchy theme. Like, can this be? This can be the forest, and here can be the fire. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But this is just, it looks so moldy. And it's just perfect. The next one is a bit more tealy. It's also a Lurex, silver Lurex Zweigart 18 count. This is more green, or tealy actually. It's more on the turquoise teal side. And it looks a bit like, I don't know. I'm sorry, it looks... And that was a piece of mold that got in the way. So anyway, this looks kind of a beachy, like a Hawaiian island, Caribbean island, wavy, beachy thing to me. But yeah, this is some more of a tealy color, also with these silver specks in it. I'm gonna have a lot of fun picking out a nice piece of, you know what, Sew Me Sarah from Wales Island, sorry, Scotland, no, Ireland. I'm logging in on Ireland. She did a wonderful video the other day, because she had a piece of very interesting fabric as well. And she was auditioning different patterns that could go on there. and she made a beautiful video about how you can approach the decision-making process for it. Like if you want to have, what kind of sampler you want to have, if you want to have more open spaces, more spatial samplers with a lot of space in between so that you can really showcase the fabric, or if, you know, have a look at a video. I'm gonna link it below. The description box will be meters long today. Next one is an even weave, a 25 count even weave, which she dyed in a beautiful sky color blue, which I love because I was looking exactly for something like this, because I have this beautiful bird pattern, which is a rowan on a birch tree. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's really cool. Looks like veins almost. Oh, that gives me another idea. Maybe I could do... it always gives me ideas. So yeah, I can do this bird on a birch tree, like this rowan on a birch tree on there. And this one is also a silver lurex 18 count in kind of a terracotta orangey. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Oh, lilac, grayish. Oh god, it's so gorgeous. Look at this. I mean, she is kind of a wizard with this. Sometimes I would really, you know, it could be a bit lighter for this, but you know, I just love it. This is really an interesting piece because you can even stitch small things on there and then just have like little pieces of it, because this one with the turquoise and green and lilac is a different feel to me than, for example, this one here. So you can also use this for smalls. Yeah, I love it. I bought, and I thought I had a printout. I don't have a printout. I bought a black work pattern for Obi-Wan. And let me insert a picture here. And I was wondering if this kind of black work would also work on a darker piece of fabric, just inverted with white or ecru yarn. And I was thinking about stitching it on something like, oh my god, look at this galaxy piece. What do you think? Or is this light enough so that I can actually use the, I don't think the dark would show up on this. But I need something galaxy-ish for this piece of fabric. Look at this. Is it also spectacles? Yes, it's got multicolor specks in it. How is it called? Opalescent. Yeah. She has these beautiful stickers that she puts on her bags that you can just, you know, circle out what it is. So it's an opalescent 25 count even weave by Zweigart. And I need a wonderful open samplery kind of pattern for this one that will feature the beauty of this galaxy piece. Help me. Esther was also kind enough, because she knows that I love lighthouses, and she made some kind of drops that you can put on your bags with lighthouses. One of them is actually one lighthouse that is close to her. I think this one, that is where she lives. And she didn't just did these doodads here, but also needle minders. Oh yeah, my local lighthouse, but also needle minders with it. And that's really nice when you can put something like that on your project and look at something that's from your dear friend, and so that your friend keeps you company. And I had that on my mom's thing, so Esther kept me company when I was stitching this hard thing. So what else? Oh yeah, another needle minder with the Golden Girls, and also a doodad with the Golden Girls that is on my crochet bag. I love it. And she also sent a huge bag of licorice. And that showed me that we are not good friends, because then she would have known that I hate licorice. But my boyfriend was very happy because he loves licorice. So he inhaled the whole bag. So yeah, Esther, again, thank you so much. It made my day, it made my week. It actually made my month, because, you know, I was just struggling a bit. Sorry, this video is really long. So week 4 was my try something else week. So I tried, and I took my crochet hook and tried a left-handed tutorial to try and learn how to crochet. And I had the hook in my left hand and the yarn in my right hand, and I was trying to follow her movements from that girl that I watched online, the German one. And it was just like, I just couldn't do it. My hand just wouldn't do it. And then I switched it up and turned it around and took the hook in my right hand. And it was like muscle memory. Everything came back, everything was fine, and I could just do it. So I watched Michelle, the Giddy Stitcher's video about crochet, like the beginner video about crochet. And I learned the basic stitches. And then I went shopping. So I went shopping, and I went shopping to our local hobby store. This one, you know, I think you have them too in the US, right? Like, or across the sea, or, you know, other countries. I think this is really a huge chain of, huge company. And they have these beautiful yarn cakes. And I actually wanted to start crocheting because I wanted to have one of these triangle shawls that I see other Flosstubers knit. But knitting is, I tried knitting, and I'm afraid that the stitches will always fall off the tip of the needles. I don't know, I just cannot do it. One hook is okay, I can deal with that, but 2 needles, that's just too much. Anyway, so I wanted to have one of these triangle shawls, and so I went online and I kind of searched for a tutorial for triangle shawls. And I found a very simple one, but she said, well, you can use these yarn cakes, but they collapse really quickly when you start pulling out the yarn from the middle. And so I thought, well, if they collapse, I would need to have some kind of a bag, some kind of a project bag that I can put them into. And they had these leather bottoms, like these leather plates that have holes in them. And they had this kind of yarn that has like structured yarn. It's a bit thicker. And I watched a tutorial and I crocheted my own project bag. This is just a single crochets, or even single half crochet and a half double crochets. And I did some double crochets at the top so that I would have some space to pull this drawstring through. And it's the exact size for a yarn cake. And so I put the yarn cake in there and started crocheting. And I took this with me when I went home to my father's, and yeah, this is just a simple one. This is just double crochet all the way through. Not really interesting, just a simple double crochet all the way. And this is what the shawl will look like. This is the yarn cake that I'm using for this one. And of course, I also had to crochet a bag for this one as well. Yeah, so I am here with 3 project bags full of yarn cakes and full of shawls to crochet, and I am completely in the crochet have the crochet fever. So let me tell you about those other shawls that I am currently crocheting on. I wanted to make a rainbow shawl that I could wear to our CSD parade that might be happening this year again, and to our, you know, kind of parades that I'm going to. And I wanted to have something that I can work on during Pride Month. So a rainbow colored thing, a rainbow colored shawl was my go-to. And then I had a look online and searched for a pattern that would, you know, that would look good with this rainbow yarn. And I found one. It's going to look like this when it's finished. And the wonderful thing is, after I decided on this one, I said this would look gorgeous with a rainbow yarn, I realized that this pattern was called Robin, which is kind of perfect because Robin can be a male or a female name. In Germany, it's usually a male name, but I know that in the US, for example, Robin is usually a female name. And there are many of these names like Sasha and Renee. Well, if you like, yeah, they can be both, and they can be for both, and I just love that. It's a total coincidence. Anyway, so this is how far I got on the Robin shawl. Quite a distance that I made here. I'm already in the orange color. I'm looking forward to having this finished soon. And then I also went on YouTube and had a look for other shawl tutorials, and I found one by Cat's Hooks and Brushes. I'm going to link it below. And this shawl is called Jordana, or Jordana. And this is the colorway that I was going for. So the middle one was really pinkish, like baby pink. And it's going to variegate to a beautiful dark blue. And it's got this beautiful front post crochets that give this beautiful texture here, like this ridge that comes up. And it's got these swirls here, and it's got these X's here that they form. And yeah, I'm already on my third repeat, and I'm already in the grayish color that is slowly variegating to blue. And I love this one. I mean, she said this is for an advanced crocheter, but I thought like after 10 days I'm advanced enough to give it a try. So yeah, this is the Jordana triangular shawl that you can really go, what's going on with this down here? I think I'm gonna have to stretch this one. I'm gonna block this one. This is also something that I will need to learn next. So yeah, this is a free online tutorial that you can try out. This is the front, this is the back. And I'm really enjoying it so much. Crocheting is amazing. Of course, you know me, I love lighthouses, and so I had to crochet a lighthouse. I came across one post on Instagram by, let me look it up, by Eliza's Crochet. Eliza's Crochet. Or Eliza's Crochet. Where's she from? I don't know. Eliza'sCrochet.com. And she's got the most gorgeous amigurumis, animals, these kinds of things. It's very easy to follow. A lot of them are free of charge. As I said, I'm only crocheting for like 10 days or 12 days. And I made this after 5 days. And so, yeah. I think this is also a testimony to Michelle, the Giddy Stitcher, who also taught her boyfriend to crochet, and he made a little elephant, or what was it? Like a little animal after a few days only. So yeah, I'm not yet that good at the color change thing and at closing out or finishing rows, but I think it's so much fun. Oh, I almost forgot one thing. I crocheted a little crown in the royal colors, purple and gold. Just in time for Queen Elizabeth II, Lizzie's Platinum Jubilee. Platinum? 70 years? She is 70 years on the throne, this woman. It's just, I don't know. Okay, so you know that we Flosstubers usually have a segment that's called Shoutouts, where we can redirect you to other Flosstubers to check them out. But I want to rebrand this segment from Shoutouts to Share the Love. Because we are all friends here on Flosstube, right? And on Instagram and everywhere. And we are not really shouting at each other. I just had this mental image of me shouting at someone else, go and watch Chris, you know, and that's not the thing. And so I just want to rebrand this segment and call it Show the Love. Because I love these people and I love watching them, and I want you to love them too, or to, you know, spend some time with them and see if they give you such a fuzzy, warm feeling as they do for me. So the first one obviously was the Giddy Stitcher that I mentioned before. She's the girl who introduced me to crochet again. She just hit 1,000 subscribers and had a wonderful Q&A video. So it's really a good moment to go over to her and get to know her, because yeah, that's just the best introduction to her, I guess. Who else? So Stitch by Liz, my dear Aussie friend, or one of my Aussie friends, she is currently sick, so please go over her and send her some love anyways. But also go over to her channel and watch the latest video, because her very supportive husband Ross made a video about his Lego collection, and I had a complete nerd I was completely blown away by his beautiful, wonderful, vast, expensive Star Wars Lego collection. Amazing. And by the way, not just the Lego collection is amazing, but he is really a funny and very, very nice guy. It's very easy to listen to him, and I think that he should be in front of the camera more often, because he was very professional, because he saw his reflection in some kind of plexiglass whatever thingy, and when he was turning around with the camera, and he was like, oh yeah, hi, that's me. So very professional. That's what you do, right? When you see your reflection somewhere, when you film something, you say, hello. That's what you do. Anyway, so Stitch by Liz and her husband Ross. Then oh yeah, Stitches and Diamonds. She was actually one of those people who reached out to me when they didn't hear from me for a while, and she was asking if everything is okay and when I will come back and stuff, and that was really just the sweetest. And she's just such a pure soul. I can listen to her forever, and she is really knowledgeable about all these charity and good causes stitchings, and she will be also a presenter for Caterpillar Cross Stitch in the near future. Congratulations to that. So yeah, please hop over to her and give her also some love. And I watched Mad Morty, of course, during the last few weeks, and I fell over laughing when I saw Dave, her husband, doing his happy dance when he, you know, when he had a new project and he stitched the border all the way around, and the border met up and there was no mistake in the border, and he was just so happy, and he was in front of his truck and he was just dancing. Completely fell over laughing because they are both just so precious. And yeah, show them some love too. I'm quite sure that you will enjoy hanging out with them. Oh yeah, another one who I already mentioned, Kaylee Cross Stitch. If you want to see what is humanly possible in stitching, you should go over and say hello anyway, because it was only her birthday like 5 or 6 days ago, and you can already all see you can still say happy birthday to her, but you can also check out her videos on tiny stitching, like that's what she does currently, and then you might be relieved of buying new patterns and stuff and wondering if you will have enough space to hang it up on the wall, because if you stitch it 1/1 on 56 count, you will not have this problem. So if you want to know how to do that, head over to Kaylee and yeah, have a look at what is humanly possible. I also watched Somi Sarah the other day, her latest video. She had some help from her daughter again, from little Charlotte. And I was just laughing most of the time because Charlotte is just so adorable. I mean, she's a real pro at holding things up into the camera and looking into the camera while she's in front of it. But then a few times she was like, okay, I just want to do something else. I have enough here. And she was just constantly saying, okay, bye. Okay, bye. And Sarah was like, no, we're not finished yet. We have to show something. We still want to show something else. And she was like, yeah, do it. Okay, bye. It was just the most precious thing. And she was always like, bye, bye, okay, bye. And I was wondering if I can get away with that kind of behavior in the future. You know, just being cute as hell, grinning, throwing kisses, and just saying, okay, bye, and then just leave. I think we should all try that, you know. It was just so precious. Oh, gorgeous. And yeah, Somi Sarah, she also had a wonderful video, as I said, talking about her decision-making process, because she also has one beautiful piece of fabric that she wants to feature. And she is actually stitching that, also the top part of one of Jacob's patterns that I have not here, but I will insert a picture here. The Fracture Love sampler, the top part. So she will copy me, and that's, yes, influencers gonna influence. Yeah, who else? Oh, and of course, Karen, the needlebug. You should give her some love too, because she recently hurt her arm. She already gave away most of her tiny count stitch fabrics to Kaylee, because she cannot see as well anymore, and now she also injured her arm. And so she's currently not stitching as much as she used to, but she is still hosting her lives. And she is also doing a series of videos where she explains certain things about cross stitch, like how to best frog, how to, I don't know, how to cross stitch on the go when you don't have your stand with you and stuff. And so yeah, go over and also show her some love and say hello. That's it for now. I'm quite sure that I've forgotten many people that I've watched over the last few weeks, and I will make sure to come back earlier this time and not wait again 4 weeks. And yeah, so if you want to hear about why or what was happening and why I was off for 4 weeks, I will talk about that in a minute. But if you don't want to listen to that, because it might be triggering, that's okay too. And I wish you a wonderful week, and I hope we will see each other very soon again. Please make sure to subscribe, because I will be filming a haul soon, or I will be filming my haul soon. And yeah, lovely that you were here and spent some time with me. So it's a bit triggering, and if you don't want to, or like if it's too triggering for you, then it's okay, because it's about if you have problems with the topics of child abandonment and poverty and homelessness, then this might not be the story for you. So if you want to know why I have been, or why I seemed off for the last few months, then let me tell you my story. We have had a tenant living with, or renting one of our apartments for quite some time, for many years. And we saw her children grow up and everything. And we have always gotten the the rent from the social care, like the income support authorities that we have here in Germany, which was absolutely not a problem. It came every week, every month, everything was fine. And then there was, I don't know really what it was, but she fell out of one care system, and she would have to she had to apply to a different welfare systems. We have many different authorities or stages of welfare that you would have to you know, bring all your paperwork in and get welfare or income support. And she somehow wasn't able to do that in time, and that's when the circle of not paying rent, not paying gas, not paying anything started. And that was also the time when my mom got sick. So like that was 1.5 years or 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, when my mom got sick. And so I didn't really have an eye on her, checking in on her every single month, making sure that she paid rent and everything, because she was also, you know, she was like, well, I don't get any money. I need some paperwork from whoever, and it's too complicated. And yes, I will pay my rent next month, and everything will be fine. And of course, I let it slide. You know, I trusted her, and I trusted the welfare system, and I obviously had to kind of focus on my mom during that time, or my family, immediate family. So over the years, it stacked up. Sometimes she paid rent, sometimes not. Sometimes she fed me a story about one of her children coming back, living with her and supporting her with money and everything. And so it was really from months to months, from weeks to week, it was just one story after the other. I don't want to say a lie, because I really don't know if she was actually intentionally lying to me, or if she was just kind of making up things, whatever. So after a while, my attorney and my accountant actually said to me, well, you have to do something now, because you cannot let her live in this apartment rent-free, because if you let her live there too long, it's kind of the squatters' rights type of deal, so that you cannot really kind of call in the authorities to make her pay the rent. If you are not doing something in time, then she has some kind of squatters' rights. And I was like, I don't want to, you know, bring out the big guns. I don't want to scare her away, because I know that she will be too scared to actually talk to me or to even be functioning, because she said that she has a lot of anxiety and social anxiety and stuff. And I was really feeling for her and trying to help her. You have no idea how often I was in front of her door and talking to her and trying to help her sort everything out, sort the paperwork out, because I know it's so complicated. I've worked for welfare institutions for some time, and I know how complicated it can be. So long story short, we filed for an eviction in November or December with a heavy heart, because you don't want to have that type of post coming to you during Christmas times. But I had no other choice. So I had to bring out the big guns, and I kind of told her, well, you have these letters now. You have kind of a means to go to these income services or income support services or welfare services and really say, well, you have to help me now. You have to help me so that I will not be homeless. That was actually the plan. And so we were kind of trying to help her with that too. But she wasn't able or wasn't willing to get the help that she needed. And I can completely understand that, because if you once have, I mean, just look at Britney Spears. If you once have, you know, kind of given up your rights of autonomy, you know, autonomously live your life, and you have someone else making decisions for you, it's really hard to get it back. And so I kind of understood her. But on the other hand, I was like, well, you can currently not do it on your own, so you will have to have some kind of person or institution to help you with that. And as the time grew nearer and nearer, I was, you know, if you look at someone and you see some kind of easy solution, and you're just frustrated that this person is not seeing this easy solution. So on the one hand side, you are really angry with them, but on the other hand, you understand why they are anxious, why they are not taking the easy way, why they are not able to make a different decision. So yeah, anyway, we had this date or this appointment at the end of May for the eviction, and we told her, and we also told her that there is a possibility that she can prolong her stay through some other welfare stuff, whatever. And but the day before the eviction, she just ran away. She just up and left. So her 14-year-old daughter was alone in the flat overnight, and only the next morning she realized that her mom wasn't home, and she left her mobile on the table and a letter that I don't know what was in that letter. I don't know, and we will probably never know, and it's none of our business. But she just left, and no one knows where she is. We have no means to contact her because she left her phone behind. Her children do not really know where she could be, and they don't have any contact information of friends or anything. The only kind of good thing is that she didn't turn up somewhere in the papers. That's the only kind of positive note, so I'm quite sure that she is still somewhere, and I hope she gets help. And it's more or less sorted now what is going to happen. We have a few more weeks of her eldest daughter who came to sort out the apartment, to clean out the apartment, to tidy up, and to start her life anew without her mom and go on with her without her. Her other children are at social care somewhere. But you can imagine that this weighed so heavy on my chest, because it kind of looked like everything would be fine, but then it just went up in flames. And that was something that just weighed on me for weeks and weeks, and it just built up the whole thing, the whole stress of this panini thing, and being sick myself, my father being sick, not being able to go on holidays, and then the war that is that feels very close to us, because this is also something why she couldn't find a cheaper apartment, because or another type of homelessness accommodation or social accommodation. There are apartments that you can get for very, very, very low prices, and they are supported by state care, whatever's supportive systems, but they are all full because of the refugees, which is fine. We have them. It's good that they can be somewhere where they are safe. It's good that they are here, and that's good that we can take care of them. But it all added to this whole situation of being just utterly overwhelmed with life. And for me, having these panic attacks, and now that I sat there and I was like, did I send her over the edge? Was it my fault? Because on Monday morning I sent her another text because she had to pay some things that I knew that she had money on her account because I knew it came from welfare. And I was like, okay, please just make sure that the rest of the money that you owe us, that you got, I know that you got this money, please just, you know, transfer it to our account. That was the last thing that I talked to her about. Or, I mean, she didn't answer the phone, so I just sent her a WhatsApp. And after like 2 or 3 hours later, she up and left. And so I was there, I was thinking, was it my fault? But it's not my fault. It's no one's fault. It's just the way the whole thing turned out. Because it's not just the rent that she has to pay. She has like debt with the energy suppliers and with other things that I don't know of. She hasn't had gas for 6 months. She hasn't paid electricity for a few months, and yeah. So that was something that weighed so heavily on me that I didn't feel that I was even able to function, because I had to kind of put pressure on someone who I knew couldn't handle it. But there was no other way for me to do it, because I also have an obligation for my father, because this is his rent, like his his pension, this is his money that he lives from, is the rent from the apartments that we rent out. So yeah. And of course, if you have these types of situations and you have the war and you have maybe also financial problems because your customers are not ordering the way they were before. No, we don't have money problems. That's not the way. That's not true. But it's really just, everything is just so stressful and so heavy. And this also puts a strain on your relationship. And then just everything is just hard. And I am happy that I found these wonderful hobbies of cross stitch and crocheting to zone out, to surround myself with something beautiful that is not too expensive and that keeps me occupied for hours and hours and is really meditation in motion, because you can zone out, just count the stitches and be at peace for a few hours so that you can go out again into the world and argue. So yeah, that was my last few months, and I hope that everything is kind of sorted and that we will go on in a more productive way, and that everything will be kind of turning out fine. And now I just don't know how to end this video. Oh, okay. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Thanks for coming back. And I will see you soon with my haul video, and hopefully very soon with a cross stitch and crochet update. Have a wonderful week, my dear friends, and remember to share the love and to move forward in love. Have a wonderful time. Bye.